Hey y'all, what's going on? It's BarbMeetsWorld, and we are here to discuss season 16, episode 6 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. This episode is entitled Peace Interrupted. And before we get into all that, y'all, you already know I need you to do a few things for me, which include liking the video because it helps me and my channel in terms of the algorithm. It helps me attract new subscribers such as yourself. So go ahead and hit the like button. Also, if you're not a current subscriber, become a subscriber, hit the subscription button, become a Bars babe. I would love to have you. Also, leave me your comments on the episode as well as my commentary in the comment section below, and share me with all of your folks. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, and let us get started, y'all. Also, I need to say, you guys probably already hear it in my voice. I am just slightly under the weather. So if I sound a little off, that's why. That's why, y'all. But I mean, if you've been watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta and you can sit through listening to Brit's nasally voice for, 45 minutes to an hour, then this shouldn't be an issue for you all, right? Just saying. That was a little shade. I think it's warranted, though. The girl tap dances on every nerve that I have. So, yes, y'all. Let me know how you like this episode. It was, of course, rounding up all of the aftermath and seeing where the chips fell with all of the ladies, obviously minus Kenya, ever since that whole situation kicked off last episode. So that's where we are. That's where we open this episode 48 hours later after the salon grand opening. We see Brit at home looking all sad. Like, I can't believe this happened to me. I haven't slept since. Her husband, who's still an oddball character for me, he's there to hear her venting her frustrations. She's all like, she doesn't even realize the damage she's caused, laying it on really thick. She was doing that throughout this entire episode. And I'm actually going to play what Claudia Jordan said in response to how Brit handled this whole thing and her approach to this whole thing. I'll play it at the end. And she literally summarized exactly how I felt, because you could not wait, Miss Mama, to like turn this situation into the woe is me game. And for some odd reason, everybody, I don't even want to get into a tangent. I really didn't even want to get into a tangent. We were not even 5 minutes into this video, but she just really got on my nerves with this whole thing, because what Kenya did was absolutely not cool. But what also wasn't cool was the veiled threat that kicked this whole thing off, and being fanned out for her since episode 1. Why is everybody looking past that? Anyway, so she says she's been getting calls from her clients asking, what is this? Her license, she could lose her license over this. In her confessional, she said that she allowed her boyfriend to film her while she was giving him oral as a teenager. And she used the word teenager, so that still doesn't let us know whether that is like 17 on down or 18 on to 19 or what have you. I do know that, like, when it comes to certain offenses and stuff like that, sometimes even if you like are 18, like, I want to say you can still be considered a child in certain cases. I think, like, sometimes if you still are in school, or I don't know how all that works through and through, but I do feel like there are probably some instances where that can get like kind of blurred or be considered one versus the other. But like I said, she wasn't specific in stating the actual age. She just said teenager. And she also said she tried to be like a webcam girl in her 20s. So she's made peace with that or whatever. She says that she had everything wiped from the internet. And that's where I also need to pause real quick and say, y'all do know that once you put anything out there, there's never 100% chance that you're going to be able to eliminate any traces of that. There are ways, I've seen it done. I know individuals that are really great at finding things. And I'm not just talking about your everyday Facebook auntie sleuth, like people that do these things as a profession. So yeah, you might have thought that you wiped things clean, but you just never know. So my best piece of advice that I can always give people is just don't put it out there from the get-go. Just saying. Nonetheless, what else? She says that everything she's worked hard on and built is being overshadowed by this. And, you know, this part is also a part where I was unclear on, because until now, you know, currently, it is now Tuesday, April 15th. I still do not know what Brit did, what is her claim to fame, how she built this so-called wealth. I haven't seen anything concrete to back that up. So if y'all found something, please hit my inbox with it. As you can see, my socials are scrolling along the bottom of the screen. But as it stands, girl, what are you talking about? What did you build? I don't know you from a can of paint. Anyway, Kelli actually did wind up dropping by. She brought food. She's very much the type of friend who is the friend that she would want that friend to be to her, which I can empathize with through and through. That's me all day. She also hooked up a IV drip specialist to come on over there and to replenish their bad bitch minerals. I'm all for a bad bitch mineral replenishment. I thought that was a very nice gesture on her part. She's still in disbelief about what went down. She tells Brit about how, you know, when Kenya pulled out the 1, 2, actually, I can't even say 3 because she was only in there for the 1, 2. And then when she took out the second one, she was like, chucked up the deuces and was out of there. And of course, Brit is eating this all up, and she's like, yeah, she wanted to embarrass me. Like, she wanted to humiliate me. Yada, yada, yada. And I just... And the whole unnecessary shade on Kenya's or I don't know if it was shade on her physical attributes or just her character, so to speak, when Brit said she wants to slow the aging process because as she gets older, she doesn't want to end up like Kenya. Girl, in your wildest dreams, could you even stand 5 minutes in Kenya's Jimmy Choos? Let's be real. Outside of this entire thing, she has amassed a certain level of success that you clearly are enamored with based on how you were just, like I said before, so fanned out over this lady. So please stop. Please stop with the slick shade. She's still on your tongue, as you can see. She's still on your tongue, like this Gatorade is still on my tongue right now. Sorry. Sorry, I meant to say that earlier too. I'm sorry, my tongue is blue. I was sipping on a little Gatorade. I'm replenishing my electrolytes. While they're replenishing their bad bitch minerals, I'm replenishing my electrolytes, and you doing all the things I need to do over here. So spare me. Anyway. So Brit also says, I am glad even after this situation occurred, or no, that's what I said. I'm glad that even after this situation occurred, Kelli was very much like, I just didn't get that from Kenya. She wasn't like that towards me. That's not what I picked up in terms of her character. I like that Kelli is saying that and she's not switching up on that piece, because that's what she said since A1 day one, is that's not who Kenya approached her as. And yeah, I just appreciated her not flip-flopping on that statement. She wanted me to be there. She wanted me to attack her. She wanted to get a rise out of me. She's been poking me since the moment I met her. Brit, that came out of Brit's mouth, but she must have said that when she thought she was Kenya or something again, because it was very much giving, since we were introduced to you, that you want to get a rise out of her being antagonistic, being a give me a hug ass bitch. You wanted to be there because, let's keep it real, y'all. Yes, we are filming a TV show, but if you were just so offended by her or just wasn't feeling her like that or whatever, I mean, yes, you brought the peace flowers, the $250 floral arrangement or whatever. But at the end of the day, if I know I'm not wanted somewhere, if I know that me and this person got we not cool like that, I'm not going to show up to your event. Maybe even just sent the flowers without my presence being there. Or like I said, I think last week, is contacting the person directly and seeing if you are still invited or is your presence appreciated, or can you squash it on the phone or whatever. I wouldn't just show up thinking like, I'm still going to be in this bitch. We still like, no, I wouldn't just assume that. I'm never going to go somewhere that I'm not wanted. She's been poking me since the moment I met her. Like I said, these are all words that Kenya should be saying and not you. But anyway, that was enough on their part. Shamea has Kelli, Porsha, and Angela / her fan over and her mother was also there. I really, really liked Shamea's lavender confessional look. I'm so sorry that I don't have any photos for y'all, because I want to say all the ladies had new confessional looks, and I enjoyed quite a few of them, actually. Angela says she's not menopausal. And I just want to say, like, okay, even if you aren't, Angela, I just FYI, y'all, that's just a natural thing that happens to us as women that we are all going to, go through. And there's no shame in that. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not even at that point, and I actually am looking at 2 of my portable fans right here. It is what it is. But yeah, we know that Angela keeps that thing on her, and I ain't talking about no pistols. I am talking about a fan. So they all agree that it was taken too far. I wish someone would have. I don't know why I said that, but I didn't finish that thought. Anyway, Kelli says she doesn't know if she would be able to forgive her for that. It was the fact of it being so premeditated for her, which I could understand, especially right here, right now, with her seeing things more so in support of Brit. Shamea's mom actually did impart some wisdom, which I thought was nice. And of course, Angela questions Porsha on that comment she made about knowing something on Charles or whatever back when they had dinner at the bank. And Porsha claimed that it was just a joke, but as soon as she realized that Angela was getting mad and upset, she backed off, because she's like, I think we don't even know each other like that or whatever. And I'm like, it took, like, duh. Like, why did it even take all that for you to realize that maybe that's not what you should say? And I'm the last person that's going to be all on some my man, my husband, like, what you say about my man? No, that's never been me. No, I would never let anybody disrespect him. But like, I'm not even speaking from that angle is what I'm trying to say, as much as it's just like anybody that a person cares about, for that matter. You can't just be throwing those types of things out there and thinking a person is going to be like, wait, hold up, what? Like, what was that? Come again? Like, don't be playing like that with people that you, don't know. Like you just said, Porsha. Anyway, Drew finally shows up once they about to eat and everything. She was getting ready for court. And Angela, I believe, asked Porsha about her divorce, which is when she starts going on this whole spiel about her and Simon, they're very much at odds at this point. And she's like, we are still family at the end of the day. And I'm just like, girl, wipe that from your, like, why is that even a phrase that is able to be formulated in your mouth, in your vocal cords? Why is that the case? We're still family? No, like, I would even give it to her if, yes, they did have a kid. or something like that, then I can understand that. This man is a scammer, obviously, as we know. He is a official scammer out here. And you've already said that you married a stranger, in so many words. So what do you mean he's still family? Like, why are you even looking at him? He should be so far in the rear view for you that this should not come out of your mouth, honey. What are we talking about? And furthermore, she goes on to talk about, and then just in that breath, she says that just to move on and say that, you know, it would never work out with him. She could never take him back because he disrespected her mother. And what she means by that is, and I remember this when this happened in the blogs, that her mom and her mom's boyfriend, he being Simon, said that her mom, they were in cahoots with her breaking into their house or whatever. That's the kicker for you. It's not all the other stuff I just said. Is that specific piece? So you mean to say that there would be the potential to look past all the other bullshit had he not said that one thing and not put those claims on your mom? Is that what you're saying right now? This can't be real life. This cannot be real life. Anyway, and it just keeps getting worse and worse with every word that she says, y'all, because then she talks about how PJ got in her bed and was like asking where's Pop, because that's apparently the term of an endearment, the nickname that PJ has for Simon, who's not her father, who's not, I wouldn't even consider him her stepfather at any point in time, because again, you didn't know this man at all. So she damn sure didn't know this man. She depends on you for her protection, her safety, for you to provide everything in her life. And you couldn't even make sure that you wasn't bringing strangers home into y'all's lives, Porsha. Like, Porsha, what we doing? And all you told her was, oh, he's away at work for an extended amount of time. Like, no, like, I can't even tell you what you should say, how you should have handled that, because you shouldn't have ever put your daughter in that situation in the first place, is how I feel about it, y'all. Just saying. But of course, like, Shamea is right there, drying her tears, having her back and everything. And I'm just like, whatever. Okay. Drew, she can empathize with how Porsha feels right now, what she's going through, more than she can express because of where they are in their friendship right now. And I'm just like, Drew, don't worry about her. She's good. She brought this all on herself, unfortunately. I do feel bad for Pilar, of course, because she don't know no better. But Porsha will be okay. She will be okay. She will find her somebody else and be just fine, Drew. Just worry about yourself, girl. Worry about yourself. So, oh, and she says that she texted Simon saying that Porsha had asked about him or whatever, and he left her on red. Why are you people? If there's anything that I've learned as I've been on I'll be 31 actually next. Oh my gosh, I'll be 31 next month. But at the age of 30, especially this last year, if there's anything that I've realized about people is you can never give them too much. You can never expect somebody to just be right there with you and just go about things the way that you would go about things, especially in times of conflict. I just don't put anything past anybody. And I say that because I just wouldn't expect too much from a person is what I will sum it up and say. And especially when that person has major character flaws in other areas, especially when you've seen that person. Yeah, I'm glad I just thought about this. Especially when you've seen that person move out the last bitch in a moving company that he has on speed dial. You really feel like this person would have remorse and feel like, you know, his heartstrings are just going to be pulled by you sending that type of message? Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. A lot of times people only entertain the, I hate to call children baggage, but for lack of better words, I mean, I don't feel bad in saying that, because that's what they're thinking, these types of individuals. A lot of times they only take on your baggage or deal with, you know, what comes with a person when they are benefiting on the other end of that, when it's feasible for them, when it's not too much of a burden on them, when the payout is greater than what they are dispersing. And I'll leave it at that. So Kelli and her oldest daughter, this was a very nice scene. I liked this scene with her and her daughter. And it's actually, we got quite a few good scenes in this episode, I will say, that are really good for me to expound upon. I enjoyed this episode. I did. Let me know what you guys are rated in the comments. But this scene between Kelli and her oldest daughter, Chloe, that's her 17-year-old, right in the midst of them doing yoga and stuff like that, she receives like a text message or whatever about this story that just broke about her ex-husband surrounding the businesses and him taking money, him being jailed, etc., etc. And her three youngest, let's remember the 17-year-old is not biologically his, but we do find out in this scene that he had been in her life since she was about like 2. So he's the only father that she's ever known. We find out that the three youngest, though, they have no idea that he's out of jail and stuff. And he's been spreading this empty rhetoric about how he's just so focused on his family and the girls, which prompts Chloe to say, why does he keep saying like the four of us or whatever? Like, why does he keep speaking like that when, you know, he's not talking about me. He's talking about the 3 other girls. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care for me. He hasn't talked to me. And although she says that she's accepted it, she's fine with it, she's moved on, that really did break my heart, because I can definitely empathize with that, with that family dynamic, I should say, where you've had a step parent, a bonus parent come into your life at a young age. And in my situation, no, my dad, my mom, they've always both been my life, active participants my entire life. But my stepmom was with my father from the age of like 5, I want to say, till I was like, you know, almost out the house, like almost like 19 years old, pretty much. And I can only just imagine that when him and her separated, like, I could only imagine what life would have, like, just the sheer heartbreak I would have felt had she been like, oh, okay, well, bye to you too. And it sucks, actually, because I know, that just made me think of my cousin, actually. I know individuals that have had that same dynamic, and yeah, they've been like, well, bye, I ain't with your daddy or no more, or your mama no more, or whatever, so screw you. I just can't imagine being tossed to the side like that. I feel for her. I really do. I really, really do. And I hope Kelli gets her in some therapy, because she might not even recognize how it's impacted her. And like I said before, she did say that she's fine with it now, whatever. But I don't know. I worry. I really felt bad. I really did when she said that. I really do. So after that, y'all, Chloe also goes on to say how she doesn't know if she wants to get married because she doesn't want to end up like her mother. No offense. I understand what she meant, like in terms of her mother and the marriage and stuff like that. She's like, that's a scary thought. I understand, especially, you know, that being the closest, the most closest relationship that, you know, you can see on an everyday basis. Like, of course, that's going to be imparted on you to think like, oh my God, like you learn the relationships that you see as you're in your adolescence, as you're developing and stuff like that. You quickly learn the bits and pieces that you do want to emulate, that you do want to see in your future, and you very well see the things that you don't want in your future. And sometimes there's no cookie cutter ratio with that. Sometimes it's more stuff that you do see and you like and it works for you in the future, and sometimes there's a lot of stuff you saw and you want no parts of it, or and then there's that other one where somehow you don't want those things, but somehow that's the situation you find yourself in. Sometimes that's the person you wind up being with, is the exact person and then that same exact dynamic. And sometimes you don't even realize that's what happened, which is why I said she needs to get her daughter in therapy to be able to just manage and really be able to understand and make sure that this has not caused her, has not impacted her in a negative way, I would say. But that's why I want you, Kelli, to be more focused on stuff like that. Also be focused on building your business up and stuff like that too. And I don't think that marriage should even be on your lips at all. And I'm not saying like you cannot get married again. No. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be married. There's also nothing wrong with not wanting to be married. Like, different strokes for different folks. I'm not against either one. But instead of telling her like, oh no, you deserve love and yada, 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 it's just like, I don't know. Like, I just think that the focus should be on something else right now. That, of course, will happen if it's meant to happen when it does happen. But let's focus on you guys surrounding yourselves with just the people in general, and with good people in general. Let's make sure that everybody, you, her, everybody in the situation is able to properly judge people and notice red flags and stuff like that, more so than like just trying to jump into like, oh my God, yes, I can't wait for you to get married. Like, it'll happen when it's supposed to, or not. Anyway, Drew, it's her weekend to leave the house. She told us earlier on this season she's supposed to leave every second, fourth, or every first, third, and fifth weekend of the month, so that Ralph can have free reign of the house to be able to enjoy spending time with the children in their environment. Could never be me. Could never be me. So I'm supposed to go pay for a hotel or Airbnb every couple weeks. He would be paying for that if that was the case. He would be paying for that. And no, we would have to expedite this whole thing, and he would have to get the fuck out. What am I even talking about? Like, get out, Ralph. Get out. Get out of the basement, Ralph. ASAP, because this is some bullshit. Anyway, Drew, she was trying to do Anaya, her daughter's hair. She wasn't really trying to be bothered by that. And half of that tells me either she was showing out for the cameras, because y'all know people, kids, everybody, they like to show up for the cameras sometimes. B, she could take out for her daddy too, because we know he liked to show out in front of the cameras too. Or it could be B, this is symbolizing like, she about to do my hair because she about to leave, and I don't want to do that, or I don't want to deal with that. Or C, this just could be Drew putting 20 on 10, and this could just be normal antics. You never really know. Y'all let me know what that act of defiance was. And Allison was also there, which is good. I'm glad that they didn't let Ralph come between them, like he almost had them in the past. I'm very glad about that. So as Drew is trying to have one final meal before she leaves with the children, Ralph comes stealthily into the room, and it's like, whoa, what are you doing here? You don't ever come up here, but like, what are we doing? But he pops in on them. It's actually Father's Day, and you know what? Since you're here, Ralph, the exterminator, that's actually something that you're supposed to be taking care of. I checked my lawyer, so we need to, handle that or whatever. His whole thing is, I pay everything around here. Like, you can't just handle that one thing. Like, what's up with that? She's like, well, that would help me on my end. And like I said, like, I got a lot on my plate. And like I said, my lawyer literally said that that's what you're supposed to do in the order. Like, what are you talking about there? He's like, it's untrue. She instantly clocks what he's trying to do, and she disengages. Bye. No. Okay. Bye. Because you're not about to flip this on me. You're not about to turn this into something that is not giving him the satisfaction. And I love that she did that. So she goes out, and in his confessional, he's talking about, this is typical Drew, always causing conflict, and this is not how you manage a relationship, let alone manage co-parenting. Yeah, you're right. This isn't how you manage co-parenting, because co-parenting usually carries the insinuation that, not even the insinuation, literally by definition of co-parenting, it's because you're supposed to be in two separate spaces. Like, you guys are, what are we talking about? It's as a result of y'all not being in an actual relationship anymore, y'all not being under the same roof anymore. So maybe you should get the fuck out. And that could be what begins to set this whole co-parenting management thing into high gear. But anyway, so, and then likewise, Ralph, according to her, Ralph likes to trigger her, and she's since, learned how to tailor her responses thanks to therapy. Yes, thank you to therapy. And she's like, why do we even need to be having this interaction? Like, we shouldn't be having this interaction. Kids, like, absolutely not. Allison was also, that's when she got in the car, and she was like, yeah, why was he even up here? Like, what is up with that? And I'm like, well, Drew, we know why the fuck he was up here. And I said it when I started talking about this specific scene, which is, he loved the camera, honey. He knew them cameras was up here. So that's why he waltzed his ass up there. And you better than me, because I would have been like, kids, can you go upstairs real quick? Go downstairs. Like, absolutely not. Anyway, Shamea was in the studio with RL. Shout outs to RL. I love Next. He's written for a lot of people and stuff. That's awesome. So, and I actually know that I already knew that she was good friends with him and his wife Lena, which they just actually had a baby shower. She actually had a baby shower recently. I want to say over the weekend or whatever. I've seen all the girls, because y'all know, like, Shamea, Porsha, Quad, Toya, Toya Johnson, Brushing, whatever you want to remember her by. It'd be like her and a couple other Gandhi, Angel Love. Like, it's a whole bunch of them that actually run together or whatever. And that's the thing. Pause. Side note. I say that to say, why can't we form these organic friendship casts when there's enough real friendships in Atlanta? It's like, if y'all would, like, and I get it, like, one is over here on this network, one is over here on this network, yada 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 yada. But I'm just like, y'all need to get y'all just need to get all on one show, because there's enough real friendships in Atlanta. Please, y'all, like, am I crazy? Y'all let me know in the comments. But I think I'm on to something here. Like, that would make too much sense though, right? whatever. So in the studio with him, Angela comes in. She actually apologizes on behalf of Porsha mistaking the song that Shamea played, her song, how Porsha was trying to mistake it for Drew's voice. She caught wind of how shady and messed up that was. That was something that upset Shamea, and she reveals in the scene that she was hurt. Her feelings were hurt in that moment, and in contrast, she's always championed and cheered Porsha on when it comes to everything that she's ever had going on. She's fully aware that she's a people pleaser. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad you, first step is awareness, right? And second step is to, yes, stop prioritizing other people's feelings, such as Porsha, because she's never reciprocated that energy from what we can see. And Drew, who also came in, she was also confused about that too. Like, it's like, girl, what are we talking about? And also as a creative, yes, that is like disrespecting my baby. Like, for you to come in here and just carelessly, oh, was that Drew? Like, that says those couple words. It's not even like Porsha said like a whole thought out spiel paragraph of words tearing it down or anything like that, but just the sheer disregard and the carelessness in saying and mistaking it for somebody else, like, says a lot. It says everything. It says everything it needs to say, coming from somebody's best friend. Like, get out of here with that. And I'm really tired. Last thing about the scene, I'm really tired of hearing the whole royalties are set up in terms of Drew's album in order to pay for PJ's college fund and stuff like that. Porsha might be a lot of things. Dennis might be some things. Whatever. Her college fund is already good. It didn't even need you to back that up, Shamea. Drew, you shouldn't even say that in the first place, because that's where I say, at the same time, Porsha might be on some BS with this whole Drew Dennis thing, but Drew very much is playing into it, I feel like, and she knows what she's doing when she says stuff like that. Like, girl, be quiet. Anyway, then we head back over to Brit's house, and I'm just like, girl, I thought she was literally gonna tell her mom, reveal to her mom exactly what happened. In this scene, she doesn't, but what she does do is go on about how this situation actually brought her and her sisters back into communication. We know that she was kind of at odds with them or whatever, and it's brought them closer. She says she's always dealt with hate her whole life, and I'm like, let's right there. That's what I'm saying. I always side eye people like that because, and I'm adding this to the whole girls have always been jealous of me, or I'm sweet once you get to know me, but I always had issues and they always try to fight me. Add all these statements together, y'all. And usually those are the people that common denominator, usually those are the people that the issue, you are the issue. 9 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10 when we're talking about old girl right here. And I'm just like, I can't with her. And I gotta kind of just slightest, like even with like the tips of my fingers, just do a little, just a tiniest shift in her mother's wig. And I say that because, yes, Kenya Moore was definitely Miss USA 1993 to be exact. And her mother says, oh, she's supposed to be motivating young girls to be like her. And I'm like, no, we're not going to start that. We are not going to start that. Coming from the person who, your daughter who's sitting right there. Yeah, she's the same woman you raised that is making veiled threats to other women who didn't even have a problem with her in the first place. That's where we need to start before we start policing what other people should do because they have certain titles that should, mean that they should be just above reproach in all ways, shapes, and forms. And furthermore, you're damn right. Actually, no, I'll give it to you. You're damn right, actually. She was motivating young girls as Miss USA to be unbothered, savage, and armed. How about that? USA. That's what we'll say that acronym stands for when it comes to Kenya. And that's because she's not above reproach at the same time, y'all. I'm not saying that I agree with the specific actions that Kenya did, but I'm saying that with the understanding that if an individual makes threats towards you and is coming at you with some weirdo energy, some weird obsessed fangirl energy, and let me shout out the diva Erica Danero TV when I say this, you need to back them bitches up off of you. And although I don't agree with the method in which Kenya did it in and the environment, the occasion she chose to do it in, I get the sentiment behind it, which is you've been coming for me, you want a moment, you've been you have placed threats in spaces in my earshot. I don't know what type of time you're on, but I'm gonna show you that this is the type of time I'm on. So yeah. That's where I think this whole thing was coming from when we talk about Kenya. And also, this ain't Miss Congeniality, ma'am. It's Miss USA. What are we talking about here? Anyway, because I did not mean to make this so long, y'all, but as you can see, I had a lot to say about this episode. Anyway, Porsha and Shamea, actually, this we won't be here that much longer with this scene, because this just forced, obviously, because they don't have a true friendship, thanks to Porsha. Portia's in self-preservation mode because of her divorce, as suggested by her therapist, whereas Shamea's over here knowing she still feels some type of way about Portia's antics at the dinner. She's instead, though, putting those feelings to the side because she knows Portia's going through a lot. And Shamea, that's my fucking problem right there. That's my main problem right there is, yes, Porsha might be going through things that she brought on herself. You, though, ma'am, are going through things as well. Why are you diminishing things that you're going through? Last time I checked, you were just finally stepping into the solo spotlight with your music career. You're trying to expand your family. You have one daughter that's had major health complications since birth. You got this fertility situation because, trigger warning, you just had a miscarriage. So I feel like you got a lot going on too. Am I wrong? And you still do like 50, 11 jobs. Like you got a lot going on your plate over there too. So no, don't feel like you are obligated to put your stuff to the side. And we just got to talk about your like why are you diminishing your hardships in life right now? For a bitch that don't even really be coming through for you on the same level that you come through for her. That was the main thing that just annoyed me in here. And then also, only other thing I want to say too about this scene is because I don't even care. I'm not talking about the they brought up Angela's hot flashes again. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to keep talking about the Drew Dennis thing or whatever, because of course you're talking about make a choice for your family. He should make a choice for his family. Well, the choice is are you really about to give him that ultimatum and proposition to him to make choices for his family when you've made the poorest of choices for the family? You were the last person who should be trying to hold anybody accountable in that regard. And I'm gonna leave that there. And the last thing about this scene, it's just weird for me to watch them, Porsha and Shamea, because I get it, y'all. A lot of times these conversations that are had between housewives or whatever are conversations that have either had happened before, like topics that they've discussed before, things that they already know about each other before, but a lot of times they need to bring them back up to us, the viewers. You know, they need to actually play it in real time so we're not aware or whatever. I say that to say, like, it just, no, it really genuinely feels like this is the first time that Porsha and her be talking about anything. Porsha and Shamea be talking about anything, which is just weird to me because you guys are supposed to be best friends. And I just know me and my best friend, like, first time she hears about me working on my trying to expand the family and this, I got this going on, that going on, blah, blah, blah. Like, it just wouldn't be on camera. And I feel like they genuinely, this was the first time that they had these conversations. Like, just weird, just weird and telling. Some best friends. Mm-hmm. Final scene, y'all. Kelli coordinated this peace brunch, which was, of course, to honor freaking Brit, I guess you'd say. And Porsha called. She sounds worse than me, and she got sick from PJ, so she will not be attending. Kelli makes a joke about, like, oh, I think she's talking to Angela. She was like, was it Angela or Shamea? I don't remember who it was. She's like, oh yeah, you're sitting right here next to Kenya. And they're like, wait, what? She's like, the ghost of Kenya. I thought that was funny. Kelli opens up to Shamea, and I think, yes, it was Angela who had first arrived, about this article, a story that broke about her ex-husband and him owing $10,000 in child support. He's only made one payment. It's just, she got stuff going on too. So she opens up about that, and in comes Brit last. She walks in, titties first, and immediately gets right to the woes is me, y'all. The woes is me, y'all. And clearly, I don't know if you guys recognized it, but I know I did. Clearly, Brit wants all of the ladies behind support. She wants them to rally behind her. She wants them to, even if they've been friends with Kenya for years and years and years and years and years, she wants them to just, nope, don't even, how dare you? You have the audacity to even check on that hoe. Like, it is about me and only me. Okay? Whatever. And I say all that because Kelli reveals that they'd been in communication with Kenya or whatever. And Brit's like, oh, like, y'all been talking to Kenya, like, blows a gasket right off the bat. She's like, did you guys not see what Kenya just did? Are you kidding me? Unhinged through and through. She starts going on about how she's just been going through so much. She had to, deal with her husband, her business, her license. And that's when Shamea's like, oh yeah, you did say yesterday that you lost your insurance license. And for the most part, everybody was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But, and y'all, I have to just say, shout outs to Angela. And I've been saying it to y'all, I don't really see it for Angela sometimes when it comes to her own personal, like, storylines and what she's got going on personally. But she's quickly becoming an integral component in this group. I will say so. Because Brit would have been able to get by with this and not be looked at as a liar, maybe, if Angela wasn't there. Because Angela's like, oh, based on what? Because Angela also has licenses and knows how this works and stuff like that. So she asked, based on what? Because that's like, whoa, this just happened, huh? And when I tell you guys, Brit immediately jumped on Angela's ass as if she stole her wallet. Like, she immediately jumped on her with that same type of energy, with that same level of aggression that she had towards Kenya. It was just, I'm like, how do you guys not see? Like, how do you guys not see this? Like, come on now. And like, literally, the switch was flipped. She was on attack mode. And she's like, what do you mean based off what? What are you confused on? What's been going on? girl, whoa. Angela's like, whoa, like this energy, like, where's this energy coming from? Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, because, I also have a license, and to lose a license, there has to be cause. So what was the cause? That's why I'm asking, like, period. This right here is a peace offering, and you're not coming in peace, which is why you, honey, like to throw stones and hide your hands. You failed to take responsibility for how we even got here. And I'm like, she was saying all the things that need to be said. Was Brit hearing her? Absolutely not. Because she's like, read the motherfucking room. She's not here. Read the room. Girl, why are you so upset? You're acting slow, etc. Like, excuse me? Like I said, it's because she expected them to just rally behind her, not question her. She thought she was going to gain everybody's support and successfully ice Kenya out of this group through and through. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me otherwise. And then they literally Angela had to go sit on the other side of the table. It was just stupid, so stupid. And Shamea finally is able to ask her a question that's not triggering. And she's like, so, what, how did you come about losing your license? Like, what about that? And she says, because of all the backlash and the defamation, I'm under investigation with, my license. You don't lose it immediately. Well, that's not the story. Like, and I'm not just going to say semantics. You phrase certain things a certain way in order to gain a certain reaction from people. Period. Drew did speak up to say what she did, Kenya, was wrong, but she's like, Drew obviously sees what we kind of see, which is like, girl, like, you ever want to recognize and acknowledge your part in it? Like, and Brit not trying to hear it. She doesn't even feel comfortable at this point in time being in the same room with Kenya. And I'm like, you're the one that acts like Kenya threatened you with the pistol. Last time I checked, it was the other way around, but you're not comfortable being in the same room with her. Goodbye. I guess you say it ended on a positive enough note, y'all, because thanks to, I guess, Shamea, the party starter. But I'm just like, Brit is continuing to just put a target on her back in terms of her being unhinged and someone who does not need to be on the show, if you ask me, y'all. Through and through. I hope you guys enjoyed my commentary on this. Again, I would love to know how you felt about this episode in the comment section below. And I actually, because I don't want this video to be too long, I will link what Claudia said in the description box so you guys know. Because like I said before, I completely am in agreement with her take on it. I'm glad that people are seeing Brit for who I believe she truly is, because she hasn't shown us anything different. Sorry. But yeah, y'all don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all of the things. And I'm about to go rest my voice. And I will catch you guys in the next one. All right.